Dan Illman, Mike Beer, kicking off a 20-cent, $100,000 guaranteed pick five pool on Queen's Plate Sunday at Woodbine. And we're doing it with a graded stake. Here's the field for race number 6. It's the Ontario Colleen. It's a grade 3, $150,000 race at a mile on the EP Taylor turf course. That's one turn. Chad Brown, what a surprise, has the favorite on the morning line, the number 8 Misspell, who is stepping up into a stakes race for the first time.
Yeah, I guess she could be favored in here, Dan. It does feel like she is stepping up in class for this race. I thought she ran fine off the layoff last time at Saratoga. Probably has to run even better than that.
Let's throw up the Timeform US pace projector. I tend to agree with Timeform US. Stretch out sprinter number 3, Salty as Can Be, should show speed. The 7, Speightstown Churl, should be up close, and so should the 2, Our Flash Drive. And Misspell, the number 8, might need a little bit of help up front.
Yeah, she might. She likes to sit and make one run. That was her her running style in her most recent start at Saratoga, a race that did set up well for her, and she ran a fine race. And her into figure, Dan, that just makes her competitive in here. We'll see what she does, and we'll see how short a price she is.
Number 1, Sweet Super Sweet, we see in mid-pack on your Timeform US pace projector. She is a stakes winner over the Tapeta, albeit at Presque Isle Downs. She won their debutante as a 2-year-old. This is her 3rd start of the year. She kind of ran an even race in the Celine last time out, Mike. I think she has to do slightly better, and the jury's out as to what her best distance is and to whether she's more of a synthetic horse than a turf runner.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't really see the race that makes her all that interested in here, Dan. You know, her 2 turf races, to be sure, aren't very good. And I guess her first 2 starts this year were okay, but I didn't think she ran great either time and didn't like her that much in here.
First-time turf for the number 2, Our Flash Drive, who's really taken to the synthetic surface at Woodbine. 2 for 2 this meet, including this victory in the grade 3 Celine. We watch Our Flash Drive, who sat up close to the pace. She has taken over the race right now. Sweet Super Sweet right now is in 4th. Will move into 3rd. This is a comfortable win for Our Flash Drive, who has some turf in her pedigree.
Yeah, I like this performance. I liked her win prior to this when she broke her maiden first time on this surface as well. I mean, you know, she hasn't been on turf before, so we'll see if, you know, she can transfer her form over. That, just the fact that she hasn't run on turf before, I guess, makes it a little harder to want too short a price on her. But I think she's good, and I think she's a major player in this race.
5-2 on the morning line for the Live Oak Homebred, Our Flash Drive. Salty as Can Be is the number 3 stretch out sprinter, as I mentioned, for Mark Cassie. Expected pace setter according to Timeform US. First time turf. But let's watch her seasonal debut off a lengthy layoff, going 3/4 of a mile against allowance runners. She was able to make the lead in this race. She was able to set a pretty reasonable pace, Mike, and then she sprints on home. First time Lasix. Her only bad race came when they ran her 2 turns on dirt. Turf, distance, there are question marks.
Yeah, there are question marks, but it feels like, you know, as opposed to some of the others in here switching surfaces, she'll be a price in this race. So if you like her, you can take a little bit of a shot with her here. She did take a step forward in her 3-year-old debut as expected, and now they're going to stretch her out and switch over to the grass.
Perseverancia, a daughter of California Chrome, looked really, really good, winning her local debut at Woodbine. Let's watch this maiden race, going a 1-turn mile and a 16th. And you see her on the outside right now, and she's just cruising up to the leaders. This is very easy, Mike. She's under really only hands and heels urging right here, and she's still getting away from her foes. She earns a respectable 75 buyer speed figure. This race kind of came out of nowhere, but maybe she's finding herself.
Maybe. I mean, this is only a maiden race, obviously, but you can see how easily she won there. She was loaded around the track. She took over at will through the stretch and won very impressively. And I will just point out that her prior race back at the end of May at Gulfstream, she ran fine in that race. I know it was a 50K maiden claimer, but she was in a little bit of traffic. She got clear in the stretch. She really ran at the end and almost got to an odds-on favorite at the end of that race when she came up short to be second. So she ran well in that race. She really improved. And the race that we just watched, I think she's a player on here at a price.
20-1 on the morning line for a filly that just won her maiden in the form and manner of a morning workout. I Get It is the number 5. This horse is a stakes winner at a mile, a 2-turn mile at Gulfstream during their championship meet. She was probably in too tough last time out on the Wonder again.
Yeah, I mean, it's in some ways that wonder again just shows you, how strong some of these graded stakes races can be, even on the grass. Because this filly got a good trip in that race, and you could tell 3 furlongs out that she could not go with those horses, and she was left far behind through the stretch. Prior to that, her form was good down at Gulfstream, and she is a tactical horse, so I can see her getting a good trip and being much more competitive in this spot.
Third start of the year for the number 6 Seasons, who goes out for the very talented trainer Jimmy Toner. Third in the Boiling Springs last time out, Mike. And I really couldn't find much of an excuse. There wasn't a lot of pace. Paco Lopez had to adjust. This horse has shown the tendency to come from way off of the pace in her races. He got right up close, and maybe that just impacted Seasons. Maybe she's more effective as a one-run closer. You'll consider this pedigree. You might want to give her one more chance at a decent price.
Yeah, I mean, if the morning line's right and she's going to be 8-1, I would probably use her in this race. There's no two ways about it. She was bad last time. I hear what you're saying with a different running style, but that's not supposed to be a real excuse for a horse who has talent. I mean, she sat right up close to the horse that wired the field, and she was just no match through the stretch. I mean, she was actually loose lined on the backstretch, starting to chase that horse, and you could tell that she wasn't going to be able to go with her. It was disappointing last time. I do think she's better than that. And again, if she's going to be 8-1, I'm not going to argue with anybody who wants to bet her to bounce back.
Speightstown Shirl, 5 starts, 1 win, 4 seconds, including this race. Beaten favorite on July 23rd, showed good speed in this heat. We see her down towards the inside at 8-5, and she's just not going to be able to seal the deal. She's run good races. She's run good figures. She's also burned money, but with her tactical speed, I foresee a situation where she's in front when they turn into the long stretch.
Yeah, that could happen. Listen, she runs fine in here. She just can't quite hold on. I suppose cutting back to the flat mile could really help her. Maybe she just didn't want the mile on the 16th last time. It's hard to, keep making excuses for her, Dan. All of her races sort of look the same. She's, in real dogfights through the stretch. She can't put horses away sometimes, or she did hold on 2 starts back. Otherwise, she cannot hold on at the end. I don't want to show a price on her, but I know that she can win.
Chad Brown's misspelled beat 2 next out winners when graduating at Churchill Downs in her final start at 2. It took Chad a while to get this one back to the races. Let's watch that effort at Saratoga. Entry-level optional claimer and kind of last on the inside going into the second turn. You're going to see Arad Ortiz gradually alter course to get into the clear. All in all, Mike, I thought this trip worked out very well, considering the pace was coming back. The problem is, not only did the pace come back for Miss Pell, it came back for the big gray third draft who got her on the wire.
Yeah, and listen, maybe, just being first off the layoff here, maybe that's enough of an excuse. She ran fine in there. As you point out, the trip really worked for her. She came from next to last. The winner came from last, and she just got nailed on the wire. I thought she ran well, Dan. I actually liked her that day because I liked her maiden win at the end of last year. I bet her at Saratoga last time. She ran fine. She just happened to get nailed on the money. She's another one. I think she can win this race. I don't know if I'd be betting her at 2-1.
I think that's a very fair point as we put up our picks. She may very well be the horse to beat because she has a tremendous amount of upside potential and a strong kick. 2-1 might not be great value. You're going to get value on the maiden winner, the 4, Perseverancia. Now, how do you bet a horse like this, Mike? She's bound to be probably, I think she'll be a little bit less than 20. I think she'll be 15-1 on the morning line, on the tote board at post time. How do you bet a horse like this?
Yeah, you bet horses like this to win for sure, and then you use them underneath and exactas with the sort of the other logical players in the race. I'll do that. I wasn't way against Misspell in here, Dan. I just don't know if I want her. If she's definitely going to be the favorite in here. And I'll pay to find out how good this 4 is. She looked really good winning last time. Maybe the step up in class will be way too much for her, but I'll pay to find out.
And that was first off the trainer change, and she certainly looked like a new horse. 4826 for Mike. 8273 for me. It's the grade 3 Ontario Colleen. There's a $100,000 guaranteed pool in the 20-cent pick 5, and it kicks off with this race. So good luck.